Hello everyone, it's Maki. In Gundam Unicorn, Full Frontal discussed his ultimate goal. What exactly is the idea behind the side co-prosperity sphere concept? The anime story explains it, but since the content is complicated, some people may have been confused. This time, I'd like to analyze the concept. We are going to uncover the two hidden problems within this concept. Before we dive in, I have a quick announcement. On my channel, I'm accepting support through memberships. For just 99 cents a month, you can get a name badge and special stamps for comments. Alright, then let's begin the analysis. First, let's review what Frontal actually said. They wanted the space noise, the people living in space, to establish autonomy. As I mentioned in the previous episode, the Earth's Federation government is primarily run by people living on Earth. Because of that, people living in space were placed in a politically weak position. Some even felt that their lives were no different from slavery. However, the Earth's Federation government would never acknowledge the space noise autonomy. Frontal explained they understand that the moment they grant autonomy, the master-servant relationship will be reversed. He also pointed out issues regarding Earth's economy and energy. The truth is that the lives of the people on Earth are sustained by the vast amount of energy and food produced in the space colonies. If the space noise were to become politically equal to the Earth's noise, the people on Earth would end up in a slave-like state. This way of thinking is truly sad. It is based on the assumption that space noise will always be hostile toward Earth noise. This mindset can be interpreted as resignation, born out of prejudice. In the story, a similar element appears. There is a scene in which Banerjee reflects on the fact that parts manufactured according to Anaheim electronic standards can be used in both Earth's Federation and Neo-Zeon weapons. He asks if they can cooperate in areas like this. Why can't they stop the war? Although it's for the purpose of war, the potential for people to cooperate does exist. However, the people in the Earth's Federation government chose to reject that possibility. The side co-prosperity sphere concept involves rejecting the Earth's Federation government from the space noise side in response to the Federation's refusal to cooperate with the space noise. This concept involves the cities on the moon and the space colonies working closely together and establishing an economic sphere. Then, they would ignore Earth economically. This is the essence of the side co-prosperity sphere concept. Frontal said the Republic of Zeon was the most suitable nation to lead this initiative. However, the concept has a serious flaw. Let's consider Mineva Zabi's counter-element. She predicted that the people of Earth, excluded by the side co-prosperity sphere, would accelerate Earth's development once again. This is because they would need to establish industries to support life on Earth. The Earth's Federation government was originally established under the vision that, in order to restore Earth's environment, humanity must journey into space. However, if the side co-prosperity sphere cornered them, they would abandon that philosophy and begin destroying the environment. This was Mineva's prediction. She continued her prediction. There is also the possibility that Earth's noise, who were raised in poverty, might one day seek revenge against the space noise. This is the greatest flaw of the side co-prosperity sphere concept. It carries the risk of repeating the scenario in which the space noise, frustrated by poverty and oppression, launched the Zeon Independence War. Surprisingly, Jomidov Hyman had ideas similar to the side co-prosperity sphere concept. He was a character in Zeta Gundam and the supreme commander of the Titans. Jumida believed in the ideology of Earth supremacy. This philosophy is often misunderstood. Jumida did not believe that the Earth's Federation government headquartered on Earth should control everything. His primary goal was to protect the planet Earth. Jumida's ideology has many complex layers, so I plan to create a separate episode about it. However, he also shared the objective of excluding the people living on Earth, which aligned with the psycho-prosperity sphere concept. Jumida acted while already anticipating what comes after the Earth's noise are excluded. However, the psycho-prosperity sphere concept never addressed what would happen after the Earth's noise were excluded. This is another serious flaw of the psycho-prosperity sphere concept. The novel reveals the name of the person who came up with the psycho-prosperity sphere concept. It was Minister Monahan Baharo of the Republic of Zeon. Although he did not appear in Gundam Unicorn, he did show up in Gundam Narrative. Monahan also created the Cyber New Type Full Frontal and provided him to the Neo Zeon forces. Frontal himself said I cannot judge whether Minister Monahan truly has the qualities of a leader. Mineva also showed contempt for Monahan, not trust. Jumida was ruthless, but possessed extremely high political ability. He managed to temporarily transfer full command of the Earth's Federation forces to the Titans. With Jumida in charge, the psycho-prosperity sphere concept might have been managed properly, and peace between Earth and space could have been achieved. However, both Frontal and Mineva dismissed Monahan with their words and actions. Furthermore, Frontal knew what the world would look like if the psycho-prosperity sphere concept were realized. He knew the future of space. This was shown in the anime. Frontal revealed to Baniji the darkness that lies at the end of everything. By the time of Victory Gundam, Earth had lost its political significance and was treated as if it were a remote countryside. The space noise living in the colonies had managed to stabilize their lives through their own technological prowess. What choice did they make? They began fighting among themselves, starting wars between the colony nations to seize dominance. Frontal must have known about this era too. Even if the psycho-prosperity sphere concept were realized, the next step would be more bloodshed among the space noids. Despite knowing this, Frontal chose to cooperate with Monahan. As I mentioned in a previous episode, that is the behavior of a devil. He approaches with a cooperative attitude only to lead things toward a catastrophic end. In this way, Frontal acts as the archetypal devil that appears in so many works of fiction. However, one element differs from the era of Victory Gundam. During that time, the Republic of Zeon abandoned its autonomy and disappeared. But Monahan and Frontal acted to prevent this by using Lopez's box as a bargaining chip. The concept of making Zeon the nation that once launched an independence war against the Earth's Federation, the leader of the psycho-prosperity sphere, is a significant departure from the era of Victory Gundam. Nevertheless, it remains uncertain whether that concept would succeed. Frontal spoke almost in a friendly saying, I cannot judge whether Minister Monahan truly has the qualities of a leader. There are two key problems with the psycho-prosperity sphere concept. First, the people living on Earth might accumulate dissatisfaction and eventually trigger war. Second, Frontal knows that space noise will one day begin killing each other in wars, yet tells no one and still tries to put the plan into action. The story of Gundam Unicorn is filled with fascinating elements. I plan to continue studying them, so please look forward to it. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I'll see you in the next episode.